Good. What? Hey, no. Good evening. That's
Hey,
what it is.
fun.
It's the evening thing. Well, welcome to the stream, folks. On this lovely, lovely hot day. I think there's another microphone over here. Hang on a second. Let me go and point that in the other direction. Hopefully now we'll have a bit less of the old echo going on. So apologies for that. Yes, so welcome to the stream. We're having a look at the Antelope Valley Line tonight, and I am joined over the mystical airwaves by Mr. Jamie. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are we all? Yes, I am the mysterious voice in the ether. Yes.
So yeah, we're taking a look at Antelope Valley Line, but do you want to kick us off with a bit of admin before we get on, Jamie?
Yes. So yes, this is we're going to start with we're playing Antelope Valley Line tonight. Don't forget, TSW4 comes out on the 26th of September, and you can pre-order now with some discounts. And Deluxe Special Edition, you get 5 days early access. And don't worry, all the links are in the description, including roadmap articles, frequently asked questions, all those sort of lovely stuff. So yes, and we're going to play one service, aren't we, mainly? But we've got some interesting bits and pieces throughout the stream tonight as well, haven't we? So yeah, it's going to be quite a good night.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with a service we're going to run from LA Union Station over to Lancaster. So you see the whole route. It is going to take us a little while. And then we've got during the course of that, we'll do a couple of kickouts to there's a scenario called Blockbuster, which is one of our sort of special scenarios. And you'll see why when we play it. And rather than play the whole scenario, I've got recordings of sort of like some of the highlight moments, just so that we can particularly showcase those off and you can see those, rather than spending another 45 minutes driving a train at relatively low speed. And I'm just trying to see what I've got set up on here. There's a thing that says pics. I wonder what that does. We'll press that later on. Because I didn't set this up, you see, so I'm assuming. I don't know if you want to just message Ben and confirm that Pix does what I think it does.
I will indeed. Yeah.
Otherwise, who knows what could happen when I press this button. So on this PC, I've got Antelope installed. I've also got going past Sherman Hill, the F7 Heritage. I've got. Can't remember. I think that might be it in addition to the Vorarlberg stuff. And what that means is I think that should activate all of the layers. Now, the layers on service mode are a little bit strange. Let me switch over to the game, because obviously that's what we're here for. So if I go into here, choose a route, and so you can see everything that's installed. If I go into like Valley Line and timetable, you can see you can pick BNSF trains and UP trains. So the way that the freight layer works is because an awful lot more people own the Cone Pass than own Sherman Hill, the freight layer is activated by Cajon Pass. But if you own Sherman Hill, then all of the orange trains get changed to yellow trains, so you see the correct livery, because it's predominantly a Union Pacific territory. But you shouldn't really see much in the way of orange. But because more people have Cone Pass, it meant more people could see more freight on the route. It's done that way around. It's slightly weird. We'd like to know what you think about it. Because basically, if we did it with Sherman Hill, it means that a lot more people wouldn't have the freight visible. The F7 is used on one heritage service here, up there. So that one. It's just a brief one. Cane Creek, I have no idea. Red Leader. Someone mentioned to me earlier on about whether Cane Creek added stuff, and I must admit I didn't go back and check. So if you've been told otherwise that it does, then yeah, it does. Apparently, Cane Creek also enables some substitutions. There you go. But the principle is that Home Pass is the one that enables it in the first place. And then Union Pacific or add-ons will then substitute locos into them, if that makes any sense at all. Right, okay, so what have we got in the way of services? So this is the Rotem cab car. So the Rotem cab car, we've got a bunch of services. One of the things you'll notice is the same thing we've done before in a couple of places where we've split services out. So this is Lancaster to Union Station, part 1, about an hour. and then you've got part 2 down here, about an hour. So it's about a 2-hour run in total. But some of the services are split. Some of them, like this one, you can see is 2 hours, are not split. So you can just have a number of different variations. There's depots. So Metrolink CMF is the central maintenance facility, which is the where they do the depot work. So this is a non-revenue service out of the depot into Union, and you'll find some of them going the other way around as well. So that's the cab car, and then the locomotive, which is the EMD F125. Same stuff applies. You got this in case you'll have Union going into the depot, because all the trains leave LA Union. Excuse me, they leave LA Union with the locomotive at the front. So you'll find all your northbound stuff is done this way around. So that's this. Yeah, it is. It's got nowhere to turn it as well, so it's got to be done that way round. And it's done that way round also because the way it allows, because of the way the depot is structured, it means they can get more done or something like that. It actually helps them get do the work in the depot, having it that way around as well. With the constraints they've got of having, where the depot is. We'll be driving past the depot so you can see it. It's on the route. Yeah. So scenarios: you have a con fair. Seriously, the gameplay team, and they'll be that's one where you're transporting a prisoner to a correctional facility. The impossible mission: a locomotive broke down outside. Blockbuster, which we will be looking at bits of, the important bits of. Take a hike, and home at the depot. So those are the 5. Go on, sorry.
They're brilliant scenario names, aren't they, as well?
Oh, yeah.
They do cover some brilliant names.
The gameplay team will come up with some really clever scenario names. All medals should be all achievable in all cases, Trackside Tim. The team have done a lot of work in fixing all the medal attainment problems. So there shouldn't be any issues with that. And I believe that fix will go out to TSW3 as well for the older content. Certainly the older content running in TSW4 will have it. I just need to double check that fix is getting back ported as well. And the beta team have been having a lot of success getting gold medals where they couldn't get gold medals before. So I'm happy that seems to be in the right direction now. So what we got training modules, you got your route intro, and then obviously we'll be worrying about free roam in another stream. Training modules, you'll get training in the training center for the F125 and for the Rotem cab car, and they'll take place on training center itself. So I think I've kind of covered the gameplay that's in there. There is obviously a journey as well. So if I come back out here, journeys, Antelope, and go California Dreaming. This is your journey with all sorts of stuff going on in that journey. Right, okay, let's just get in the train and get going, shall we? So we're going to drive the 125 out of Union Station. I didn't actually pick a service, so we're just going to make it up as we go, which is usually a recipe for thoroughly good success. Alpha Victor 209 is a full-length service. I'm going to change it to custom weather so that it doesn't. When I was testing this earlier on, and I left it on dynamic. I forgot to show you the BNSF load times. Yes. So if I click BNSF, I just click Union Pacific, so you can see all of my Union Pacific trains here. So there's a lot of freight on this route, but there are these ones, and I think this should be the same.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, so there isn't a lot of freight. This is predominantly a passenger, and it's single track, so you're not going to get lots of bandwidth on here. So, but there is some freight, and that's been included. So, yes, I ran this earlier on, and I left it on dynamic weather, and half of my journey was in pitch fog with it pouring down of rain. It's just like, what a map. Let's not do that in the stream.
So I should think because obviously you said there's not much freight. I should think one of the things as well is I know in America sometimes freight gets priority over passenger. Is that sort of the same? Is it the same as the UK that works on that route? I.e., passenger would have predominance over freight.
I'm not sure. I mean, the freight is a bit part player on this route in the first place. So. This is a Metrolink line, as far as I'm aware. It's ex-Southern Pacific, if I recall. Right, this is the cab of the F125. Let's pop on that gen field so that we're good to go. Lights are already on. Pop the reverser in and forward. Put it in passenger braking. We're good to go. So let's get the doors open. Meanwhile, let's have a wander around the outside.
Yeah.
Maybe not that outside. Let's wander around the... No, maybe not that outside. Let's try a different outside that works. Oh, I see. It's just because it's so tall.
Yeah, you because the platforms are really slow, aren't they?
They're really low, yeah. So this is the F-125. I think the game is really loud. No, I'm really loud. Okay. But it's possibly too loud. We'll see, because it gets quieter when we get in. What I can do...
Step up
if I go in there and shut the noise down, that's it. We can hear each other better now. Right, there we go. Fly around outside. These are the Rotem cars. And this is the Rotem cab car. Go on, sorry.
Interesting brakes, haven't they? They've got interesting wheels. So, like, you can see the brakes stick out quite far.
Yeah. So yes, it's the Rotem cab cars. And here we are at Union Station. There is the famous building of Union Station.
Yeah, even all the buses outside, right?
Right, let's get locked doors. Just looking at the surrounding area so you can see it.
Apparently, I'm quiet compared to you and the gang.
Hang on a minute then.
Turn the Jamie volume up, apparently.
Try speaking now.
Hello, am I still here?
Well, hopefully that's a bit quieter, a bit louder. Right, let me turn the game volume down a bit. I mean, we wanted to hear the audio, so I don't want to turn it down too much. We'll go 50%.
Right.
We'll see how we go.
Riley says that's better.
Right. Okay. We need to lock the doors, so let's look outside while we lock the doors.
10-4, loud and clear. That's all I like to hear. Lovely jubbly. And Ben has said, yes, the picks do work.
Sweet. Right, okay, so let's get train brakes released. Someone asked earlier on about safety systems. No. You got the standard alerter, which I'm not going to put on because that'll just be the painful bit of the stream. This is where IETMS is installed on the real Metrolinks. We've looked at implementing IETMS and we're not sure the game even has the capabilities IETMS needs at this point. It's such a complicated system. There's a load of extra data in there that's it's nothing like anything we've done in any other territories. So it's something on the watch list to try and understand better and see what we need to change in the game. But no. For the foreseeable future, IETMS is not coming. I'm going to shut up for a minute.
What makes that different? Sorry.
Hang on a minute. Let's just listen to sounds. Of course, it's only 12 miles an hour, so there's not really much opportunity to listen to it. What makes IETMS different? So IETMS is it's got a full track plan of the whole route. It knows where you are on that track. It knows all the gradients of the route. It knows where you are, obviously, on those gradients. It knows where all the signals are. And it will predict, how you should be driving to speed up and slow down and so forth. It does all sorts of very clever, really exactly what that you should be getting in a positive train control system. It's and there's schematic diagrams that are shown as well, not real track plans, obviously. So it's a lot there, an awful lot there. It's you say it's like Ebola but American. It's like Ebola on steroids. It makes Ebola look like a really, really basic system. See, I think we can do Ebola. From what we've seen, I think Ebola is achievable. The gist from the engineering team so far is that PTC is asking questions the game can't answer.
Yeah. I know someone had asked whether the coaches have got guards panels. Have they got guards panels?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have a look when we get to a stop. So, Jamie, make a note and remind me, because I will have forgotten by about now.
I will find my notepad and I will make a note. So when you stop at the next station, you can have a look.
This is your main control system, so you can see your tractive effort indicator there, your current speed, acceleration. It's fairly familiar to EMD, if you're familiar with EMD equipment. Some slight changes. Once we get into the 25, I will go outside and we'll listen to a bit more accelerations, and let's do a bit of horn actually. So we got all the audio for this going over to Los Angeles and spending a lot of time with them and with the trains. So yeah, really, really high definition audio we've been able to record for this and put in the game, which is excellent. Yep. I think that's what the pics are. Is there's some pics of us doing this. So we'll go a little couple of 3 or 4 stations down, and then we'll go and have a look at some pictures.
Yeah. I know someone has asked if we can have a look at the cab car as well at some point in the cab.
Yep.
Oh, look at that reflection. That's fun. Look at that. Well, are you speeding, Matt?
I know. Trying to get sounds, but the speed limit is cutting me down.
Berlin Bears, are all trains only 4 cars long, or are they different rate sizes?
Sorry?
Berlin Bears asked, are all the Metrolink services 4 cars long, or are they can they be, they're slightly longer sets, or...
I don't know the answer to that question, actually. So we will have a look and we'll find out. I've not had an awful lot of time to look at the detail of this one, unfortunately.
No worries.
Oh, on the walk around video today, you see how it's doing this nonsense here? This is an artifact with you'll notice here it's not doing it. It's to do with the wheel blur thing, and it's creating a visual anomaly. We have a fix coming in for that hopefully today. So be in your builds when it goes out, hopefully.
Manual, yes, it is. It's the SD70, isn't it? That's in layers, or is it something?
And the C4 layers? From BNSF, yeah, but the SD70 from Union Pacific.
That's right. Yeah.
So listen to the separated sounds of the traction motors, which is the whine, and the diesel engine on this one, which is being able to record them separately makes that so much easier. We'll get the 50 in a minute.
Yeah.
This is actually the tram depot over here.
That was what I was going to ask what that was.
May or may not be featured in a certain mastery reward.
Someone's asking, what about the signal aspects and the signalling?
What about them?
Are they realistic, or what have they got?
Yeah, as far as we're aware, we're working with Metrolink, so I would expect the signalling to be representative of reality. Let us know if you don't think so.
And did Joe make the timetable?
No, this isn't a Joe timetable. We have 3 people that make timetables. Joe can't make them all, I'm afraid.
Oh, there we go. We can see if there's different car lengths on that side now. It's all the same.
This is the CMF. Look.
They look all the same size to me.
They do indeed.
Someone's asked for a map view as well.
Map view, excellent. We can do that. So this is Los Angeles here, coming across there. The other side of the river is kind of where the freight. There is a huge freight yard here in reality, but we haven't modelled that. So trains will come in and out around here, this area. Then you've got the CMF here, and then you are running all the way until you get to, this is the canyon bit over here, the I think it's Soledad Canyon or something here, which is your really, really pretty area, before you then make the turn up to Lancaster up here.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's 75 miles long, isn't it? Full route?
Something like that, yeah. Humane Wolf, will there ever be a guard mode for TSW? Well, there's the guards obviously in that one scenario. Will there be a guard mode? I'd like to see one, but no plans at the moment. Metrolink at the moment doesn't layer into San Bernardino. No. That would be cool though. I like that idea. But no, it doesn't do that. It's very modern sounding cab, this, very nicely insulated.
Yeah.
This is all the latest. This is all their latest stock as well. So it's all the latest stock, the Rotem cars that they're using.
Yeah. Something nice about double-decker stock. It's always good fun.
Well, even the previous stock, the Bombardier cars, were or Bombardier, however you pronounce it, they were double-decker as well, but they didn't meet some of the safety compliances as they were updated. So in modern times, they're relegated to being coaches only between Rotems. So they bulk out the stock, so they don't use the Bombardier cab cars, for example, anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They've all been decommissioned and the cabs removed.
Someone's asked what the max speed is on the line. I think, was it 79, someone said, I think?
Yeah, I think it goes, yeah, it's just coming up there, actually, on the track monitor.
Yeah.
The other thing you'll find with the freight layers is a bunch of these static consists laying around. It's quite common, apparently, to see that sort of thing here.
All right. Well, I suppose if they are just loading or unloading or waiting for locos to haul sets, aren't they? They will sort of stick around, I suppose. Berlin Bears also asked, are there short-term services or do they all go to Lancaster? So is there like halfway, and
they don't, as far as I'm aware, do that. So it's all the way and back. But like I said, they split out, so you can start in the middle and go up.
Yeah. I think there is a horn sequencer, isn't there, on this? I did see the button for it, I'm sure.
So I'm only going to Princessa. I did see some services going to Princessa, so maybe those ones are covered then. The problem is it's kind of based on the timetable, but the real timetable doesn't exist at the moment for this rendition of the route, because Vista Canyon is not a train, not a service or a station stop on the line, so the timings are all out of whack. They're still working on the revised timetable. We tried to see whether or not one would come in time, but it wasn't available, so we've sort of made a stab at it. Glendale
Station. They always got those nice little canopies as well. Oh, look at that. It's got crossing lights on the... That's brilliant.
When you say boards, do you mean PIS boards, Emil? If so, yes, they're brand new custom PIS boards for this route. Again, modelled on the way they work in reality, which is quite limited, to be honest. They don't show you a lot of information. So as you can see, not doing a lot, and then it tells you the time and the date. And if a train is about to depart, I think it pops up a thing saying train is about to depart. But this is, it's only, not like your normal PIS you're used to in the UK or Germany, where it sort of tells you the next hour's worth of services.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is the limit 79 miles per hour? Why isn't it rounded up to 80? So in the United States, FRA regulations, anything 80 miles per hour or above requires, I believe, cab signalling, or there's rules and regulations 80 miles an hour or above. So they pushed the limit to 79.
You're just 1 mile an hour off.
Yeah, it means they can get away with getting go. It's standard practice. You see that the 79 miles per hour comes up a lot. Let me just let you hear the traction motors.
People are liking the sound, so that's good. Very good. I can't hear anything on my side, but that's fine.
Windshield wipers, cab heater.
Don't need that this time of the year.
Conductor signal, attendant call, pulse lights, bell, all the sequencing.
Someone's asked how long it takes to drive the whole route. It's about just over 2 hours, isn't it, from one end to the other?
Yep, this is going to be a 2 hour, 10-minute run.
Yeah.
It's Sander, got your horn button here, you got brake mode here, alert to reset, got your reverser and your throttle, which is a combined handle with dynamic brakes. What we got, madness that we got on the back here. I'm just going to look over things. Door light, MU on, engine stop. Let's not press that right now.
You got the number board lights on?
Sorry?
You got the number board lights on?
What speed are we doing? We're doing more than the speed we are supposed to be doing.
Oh dear. Naughty, naughty.
Everyone's used to that.
It's alright, we're giving the passengers a faster ride, it's fine.
So you're starting to see the mountainscape. Going up north now through Los Angeles.
Got loads of railroad crossings as well. I noticed it says also we've got a mix of single and double. Is it mainly sort of single over the pass, or is it mainly sort of in other areas?
It's mainly single over the pass.
Mainly single.
What you find is it sort of splits apart occasionally as well. So you see it's sort of single track around there, but we got a little bit of double here, and then as we go to down here, you've got it splits out to double for a bit here as well. I believe this might be Vista Canyon actually, because this track used to come all the way out round here, and they've rerouted it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You got some double track or siding or a loop going on over here. So there are passing points and so forth. So it's not like it's a lonely journey from end to end. There are passing points. There was a train there heading in my direction. So it's but there's large amounts of single track up here because you are in the boonies.
Yeah.
Right.
Double stack car park with that. Who's a car one? I like the new HUD bit as well at the top. I do like that. So you can just use the controls and work out your speed with that.
Yeah, you can sit more in the and focus more on the cab. Do the coaches have PAS? Let's go and have a look. Yeah, well, I'm not going to miss the station, am I? So how wrong can it go? I don't know whether the coaches... There they do, look.
Oh, there they are, yeah. And you've got the train number as well by the looks of it.
Yeah. And then you've got the one on the... Was it on the back? I thought there was one on the back as well.
Maybe
it's same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a good question. With the winter season, does it cover in snow, or is it?
I think we've made one day when it's snowy. I mean, snow is not common, but there are lots of photographs of snow because when something like that happens, everyone takes a picture of it. So rather than Caltrain, where we didn't put snow, and actually we took some feedback from that people kind of wanted to recreate the unusual scenes as well as the likely ones. So it is possible to get a snow covering.
Okay, brilliant. Someone's asking for coach tours. Can we go and have a look?
Oh yeah, let's go and have a look. The heck with the timetable. That's my excuse. So you can wander up here. Here.
Look at them.
Go and have a look at the bottom deck. I think this is the cab car. Up here is your cab car.
It's quite interesting that it's just literally one little door and the other bit is all sort of blanked out. It's quite interesting, that.
Yeah. But let's go and get back on our train. Guard panels. I don't know where the guard panels even would be. Is this a guard panel? I don't think that there's guard panels, no. But I'm going to let someone yell at me after the stream from the team. And tell me if I'm wrong. There is one. Oh, you saw it. Oh, we'll have a look at the next station then, Red Leader. Right.
Oh yeah, they're saying it's the other end, I think.
Right. Lock the doors.
Oh, you're rolling back.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as there isn't a red light behind me, it's great.
Yeah. Not like directly behind the end of the coach. Oh no!
So we've got a 35 limit coming up, which is we're going crossing into our first bit of single track.
Ah, right. Oh, Railfan Graham has asked, is there any, like, so when you emergency brake application or allow, do you get like a brake dump sound? So as soon as you put it into emergency, it just like you can hear it dumping the air brakes.
You're going to get braking sounds. I don't know whether you're not. I don't know where the button is. I think you just have to. But that's what you get.
There you go. Sorry, Matt. Someone
That's all right.
We forgot a passenger. It's all right.
Oh, brake to suppression.
Ah, we can show you how to release the brake.
There was never going to be a platinum medal in my future, Scott. Don't worry. Are any of the cab windows open? Yep. Even the doors.
Oh, people like that, so that's good. Good.
We're still coming up on that 35, or have we done it yet? No, 35 would have been that other junction, I guess.
Yeah.
Good, speed limit is 50, got nothing ahead. Except for one of those passenger stoppy things. It's obviously a little bit more dense on the passenger stops in the built-up areas. And then when we hit the the canyon, it'll be a bit more spaced out.
Mod Peters said, it's a nice spell, I'm sure JD will enjoy it.
Many hours of fun.
Many hours of fun. Oh yeah, but tell you Angry Bird, it's always good to have the windows open because you can hear the engine noise better.
Yeah, oh yeah. I know that's one of the reasons that even in some cases, opening the door shouldn't be allowed. It should. Normally these doors are part of the interlocking. You know, one of the things we've taken from people on the HST was, let me open the doors, I want to hear the sounds. So, yeah, we normally try and make the doors work now so that they don't have that unwanted realism.
Yeah.
Coming up on Burbank Airport.
Burbank Airport. Lovely. Yeah, because there's 13 stations, isn't there, with this? But obviously, at the moment, there's only 12. But obviously, you've got a new station that's we've included, haven't we, with this?
Yeah, you get the Vista Canyon station, which, as I said, isn't open yet in reality. But I think it's only a little bit away now. It's maybe a month away. It's not far off.
Brilliant.
And we got hold of the architectural drawings for the new track plan signalling and the station layout. And when we were out there, they took us on a slow run by past the station so we could get a photo reference of it. So
Wow. There's not many railway companies that do that for you.
oh, they were amazing. They laid on two special trains for us, whereas just new special trains for our crew, which nobody has ever done, I don't think. Which is, our crew felt particularly special on their own deluxe train. I'm not going very fast, am I? Never mind.
It's all right.
We're here to look at
We're
the route.
giving them a leisurely drive. It's fine.
Anyone here to observe my amazing driving skills? You turned up to the wrong stream.
Yes, Stephen, they must be. I mean, obviously, I should think the audio team are quite amazed with how. I mean, obviously they're American diesel, so they will be quite loud because the sort of size of them compared to some of the diesels in the UK and Europe. They will be pretty noisy things. I know someone said with the Blockbuster scenario we should have some VHS tapes on there. That was
Scenario
quite
would
good.
be out of business before it started.
Yeah.
The follow-up to the Blockbuster scenario is the Netflix scenario.
Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah.
It's funny, there was an asset, there's an asset just next to me right now on the right-hand side there that I don't know if anybody recognises it, but it did make me smile when I realised what it was and why it tweaked me. I'm not going to say what it is, I'm going to let you figure it out for yourselves, and you can quietly chuckle.
Oh, I know what it is now. Yeah.
Locked
It's quite a
doors.
populated area down here as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's quite, yeah.
Right, Sun Valley in 1.7 miles.
Hey?
Where are we right now? We are here, working our way up here, and I think the gradient sort of starts around there sort of time. Oh no, we're on the gradient now actually, but shallower.
It seemed to definitely get steeping because you were rolling back.
I know, that's
definitely
a tribute to my amazing driving skills.
Gamer says, is that your camper van, Matt? Or should we say RV, I should think.
You'll find another range of amusing advertising billboards.
Acture. Wow. Yeah, we'll look at the guard panel train spot of the next station if we can, Matt. That'd be good. See if it is there.
Yeah, if I know where it is. I can keep the train moving to actually get there. Forgetting I'm going uphill, putting it into coast for a bit, and then of course obviously be slow right down.
Yeah. You're on the 1% grade, aren't you, at the moment? So. Ah, now, Simon, I have what the collectibles are. Hold on a second. So, the collectibles, where have they gone? There they are. We have a cardboard hat, a Ford truck, and 30 anniversary banners. There we go.
About half a mile.
Wilf has asked where the donkey is. Do you know where the donkey is, Matt?
Not a clue. They don't tell me anymore because I keep giving it away.
Ah, yeah. So, chat, you got to go and find it for yourself.
A few more houses. Now we're getting a bit further out of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Nice because you can race all the cars, which is fun.
I was hoping to catch the PIS doing something different.
Ah, it's not, is it? It's not playing ball.
These are also, I believe, latest branding on the station boards and things as well.
Yeah.
Another
Can
one
you ever?
around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See if you can find the guard, man. Oh, there
Map.
you go. There's the map. Oh, the ticket machines and everything, they're quite cool. Nice.
Oh yes, this was it. So standard conductor station will put you in the conductor station. It doesn't really mean anything if you do that at the moment, but it's we were exploring ideas with could we make keyboard shortcuts for standing at guard stations, things like that. So there's once you stand at it, you can then access. Oh, I have to put the key in and then do something. There you go. Turn the switch on, and now we've got stuff. Forward door close. Remember to press E to get out of that seat again. Right. So yes, there is one, and now I remember talking to the team about it. So yeah, go me.
There you go, chap.
Okay, so
we're just making you later, Matt. Sorry.
I'm just going to blame you later.
That's fine.
I thought it would be. Right, 6.5 miles to Silma, San Fernando. It looks so different to your average American train, doesn't it?
It does. It's certainly the colours as well.
Yeah, I do like
Definitely
Metrolink's livery. Metrolink's livery is very nice.
It just looks like a beefed up, like European loco, modern European loco, doesn't it? Really?
Massively beefed up, but yeah.
Yeah.
The coaches remind me a lot of the Nippon Chariot coaches, but you know, modernised. Although they've got the funky modern bogies on them, trucks, which are all lightweight and quiet.
Yeah.
Passing loop, I think, or a siding on the right over here. Speed limit is 79, so drop the beans.
Full thrash. That sounds like.
we've got industries over here. That's it. This is freight support, I guess. The fully modelled toilets the train definitely has. No. Even if they were fully modelled, I would pretend they weren't.
Someone's asked for the Nebworth feature.
But I'm not going to try and miss stations because we're here to look at things. But if we don't, and I accidentally miss a station, I will claim that was the demo. So look forward to that.
Some fair rake on there.
Oh yeah, the nice thing about this route is it's not a particularly slow route. It's got some fast times on it. So and it's varied gradients, varied. It's got curves, so you don't feel like you're going in a straight line all the time. Okay, this is a straight line all the time, but soon we'll be diving up into the hills, and then it takes on quite a different flavour. So it's quite an interesting run.
It's nice to see all the different different scenes along the line as well. You know, the different where the trucks and bits are. As you're going along.
See, what normally happens to me when I'm playing things like this is because you've just done a load of start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Now you get 6.5 miles to the next station. I'm pretty much guaranteed to miss this one because I go off into La La Land.
I'm enjoying the scenery. Oh no!
Got an airfield over there filled with definitely not Cessnas and Pipers.
And a lot of them. A lot of people must have private planes there.
Well, if I lived in LA, I'd probably want to get out of it. Certainly not by road.
Well, true.
What's that speed? Oh, 48. It's very contrast because you've got the hillside over there and you've got this sort of rich green, lots of trees in and amongst houses and things on that side.
It's very interesting because it's a multi sort of, I'm trying to think of the right word they use for. I could try to remember different life, different scenery types. There you go. That's what we'll go for. Probably totally wrong, but there you go.
Rogers Gaming, the Steam locos in the game already have the appropriate head codes, and you can change them by just clicking on them. Put whatever light formations you want on the front. So every train you drive could be the Royal Train if you so would desire.
Yeah, and you know, there's plenty of information online to have a look at different types of formations for different sets. So have a look online, see if you can find what formations you can make.
Oh, we're starting to see the hills in front of us now.
Yeah. Means we're gonna have to go up them. Someone's asked, does the Loco have dynamic brakes?
It does. So this is a combined handle. Dynamics are the other side. Throttle is this side. But yeah, if you pop them in setup and then give them a moment, and then you can hear the dynamic brakes kicking in there. Look. Red leader, yeah, it's something I'm following up with the team at the moment. It's not quite behaving right. Sounds like they figured out why today, so. Louis Trains, is what broken?
Oh, these have got nice little canopies. Look at them, look.
All the stations are really nice, very pretty.
And they're all slightly different as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Different kinds.
They feel like they're made with a common sort of architecture, but they've got a different, precise layout. So you kind of get a feel for where you are at each of the areas. It's a bit like the red something or other, red flower is it or something on Long Island, which are the stations I like because they've got the red roofs on them.
Yeah.
It makes such an impression of me. I know exactly where I am. Not. There you go, Silmar San Fernando.
Got the palm trees as well. Crazy Storm. What does that say?
Crazy People Storm Golf Course.
Oh dear. The Dove. Free ice cream today. Oh, Moggy's special day. Look at that.
The free ice cream is a lie. I just want to say that. I asked. Right, Newhall. 7.5 miles. So the track starts to get a little more windy from here on. Up to a 1.7% riser now.
Someone's asked, could we have a subscription to the Dove, Matt?
I did talk to the team about, well, maybe we should call our email newsletter should be called The Dove. I thought that'd be quite funny.
Yeah. Keep an eye on our usual channels for when the East Coast Main Line stream is. We will have that later on, so don't worry.
Can't remember when the East Coast Main Line stream is. I think that Alex posted the whole stream schedule, so you can go and find out when we're streaming what.
Yeah. I know I'm on that one. There you go, there's the date there. Thank you, 20th of September. So not long, not long.
Thanks, ETM2. $60 limit at the moment.
See, we're getting closer and closer to the mountains now.
Get me in them soon. In the thick of it. And then we'll start wondering if we're actually on Cajon Pass, but we're not.
another little loop here, siding. Try not to tip yourself over. Oh, just made it. Yes, so with free roam, you'd be able to put locos that obviously are diesel and steam on the route. So as long as you've got diesel, or so you know, if you wanted to run the Cal train on this, you could do. So it gives you different flexibilities on what you want to do.
Actually, we've got a 45 limit coming up for the next thing, so we'll just leave it where we are and let the... we're actually relatively flat at the moment as well, so I better... bit of brakes then to get us slowed down to the 45.
Yeah.
Still got 5 miles for Newhall. That's it.
Love seeing the train sort of like tip, and when you go around curves and things like that. I do love that.
What speed am I doing down here? This is my current thing. This is my speed limit up here on the top left. The normal HUD is still available. But why don't I spend a little time with normal HUD just so that you can see and contrast. So under accessibility, change it to normal, and you get the original HUD back.
Flashing yellow.
So we're in the deep of starting to get in the deep of the terrain now. This is where all of your LiDAR terrain starts really coming to life. 35. Oh, we're going 30, so we're all good.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That's the thing. So you could run with the more simplified HUD. So you could look at the gauges and screens depending on what you're driving. So it just gives you more of a experience in driving, using as a real driver would do. But you've still got the information that you need of distance and speed limits and things like that. Oh, and obviously timetable timings as well.
You can have small size speedometer and large style speedometer. Can't remember what I've got. If I go options, settings, maybe accessibility? No, probably HUD and gameplay actually. Nope, probably accessibility then.
There you go, speedometer HUD size.
Small, so you can pop it up. And now it's bigger. Bigger HUD! So you can do something. I'm going to put it back to smaller just because I want to see what I'm doing. But yeah, you can kind of customize and tailor quite a lot to yourself, to your preferences now. Logins, I've done everything up to this point has been on the mini HUD. Oh, you mean the simple HUD, which is under accessibility, that one, which is just this bit. Why'd you have to go so slow? Changing gradients, we've got curves on the track, all sorts of things. They're quite sharp curves. Look at these spaghetti junction of roads over here.
Yeah. What a strange... That is a strange scene going through that with a train. It must be... As a driver's perspective, quite unusual. Look at that. Plunge into the tunnel. While we're in the tunnel, do you want to share the screenshots?
Well, yeah, let me just pause the game there so we don't miss out on exciting stuff. Now, I don't know what this is going to do, so let's just press the Pix button and see what happens. There we go. This is pictures from the recording trip. So you can see the Rotem car there, and you can see one of the Bombardier cars actually behind it because they mix and match it a bit now. But they always use the Rotem cab cars now. Yeah, it's just a slideshow, so it is going to move on to the next one at some point. I don't know how fast Ben said it to slide. So I'm just going to riff for a bit until it moves on to the next slide. So yeah, we went over to Los Angeles for 2 weeks as a combination trip to see Metrolink and also to see Amtrak since they were nearby. And with Metrolink, we were able to record weekends, but not during the week, I think, from Brightly. So it was kind of like, I wonder if we could convince Amtrak to let us come and record stuff there during the week. And that kind of, and that kept the team busy, really, really busy for the 2 weeks. It's still not changed. What's going on? World's slowest slideshow. Time between slides, 8 seconds.
Oh.
Oh, you have to press the button to make the slideshow work, and it's not automatic. Excellent. So hopefully we'll get another slide in 8 seconds. Yeah, so we went over there, and the team were working night and day, literally. It was a very hectic trip. And they said Metrolink put on 2 special trains which were used for capturing recordings of trains actually moving. I wonder if I can just use the next button. Hey, there we go.
Hey, there you go.
This is one of the Bombardier cars, and the team captured. So when the team went out there, even though the stuff that we weren't using, essentially, whenever the team go out onto a trip, they will capture anything and everything that they're allowed to. And actually, the depot managers are almost always incredibly accommodating. Sometimes even coming to the team and saying, well, one of these has turned up today. Get it? It's not going to be back the rest of the time you're here. So they'll go and do the stuff for that one so that we can have it. So even if we don't have plans for it specifically, what it means is that we have a stock of things because it's better to have it than not have it. This is Tom taking pictures, detailed pictures of rivets by the looks of it. So Tom will take, I think there was thousands of pictures or something taken on this trip. It was ridiculous. And they're not your normal holiday snaps. These are all over the place, these pictures, looking at bolts and rivets and panels and materials on seating and all sorts of things. This is an example of how the recording equipment is actually strapped onto them. So this would have been, I think, for running sounds. And so you can see the box there attached to the vertical part of the step is the recording unit. These are all standalone things powered by battery. And then it uses an XLR cable to connect to a microphone, which is inside a foam cladding. And then you've got a muffle on the end of that. So you get all of the sounds you want and no wind sound or anything like that. It's really nice. And it's all just then cable tied to Heckenbach to keep it on there for the entirety of the time. You press the record button and that thing will sit there for 3 or 4 hours just sitting there recording. And these little recording units are amazing. If you're familiar with doing recording with a microphone and you know anything about it, you'll know that there is you can peak. There's this phrase called peaking, where if it's too loud, you've gone too far and it can't record any kind of extra volume, and that's bad because you lose that data essentially. So what you have to then carefully manage your levels so that you try not to peak. Well, if you're recording on a train like this and you've just set it up and all you know is you can come back to it in a few hours' time and take it off the train, you've got no idea if it's spent the entire time peaking out, which means that you're going to have all sorts of anomalies in the audio. Well, these little things, I can't remember what exactly their definition is, but they have got so much data definition there that they can't peak. So they can record any volume pretty much, and then you can recover everything that you want back. So yeah, this makes life so much easier. And they're not particularly expensive actually. They're quite a sensible price for one of those things. This is recording using a mic stand. You can see it duct taped to death on the floor there, and also then attached to the wall as well. And this is recording what the experience is in the cab. In there, I think this is one of the Amtrak recordings actually. So yeah, it's just like people are saying, "Oh, that means that they're doing it." No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. Like I said, if we get the opportunity to record a thing, we record the thing. Again, I think this is Surfliner coach from the Amtrak depot. So one of the audio engineers there is getting some wiring in the microphones inside so he can get the bogie running sounds off of the coach. This is the F125. You know what one of those looks like by now. And we're back to the low-term cab cars. So that's that. So let's get back to this. So anyway, that's a quick tour of sort of, wanted to show some of the stuff the audio team do. They do a tremendous amount of work, and they pretty much universally, and it's not just audio, the rail vehicle art team go out there as well. Pretty much every trip they come back shadows of their former selves because it's been so busy, but also they've really enjoyed it. It's you get unprecedented access to the not just the vehicles but also the staff, and they're always so helpful. So yeah, really, really good.
They come back and they need a holiday then.
Yeah. No, literally. I think when Adam came back, he had a week off. It might have been a week off sick, but it was a week off. I think he ate something bad, but these things happen.
Oh, bless him. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're all good trips. They're all hard trips. It's and this is where we get these kinds of trips. This is the third big American trip we've done, because the first one was Amtrak in Washington, which is where we got the Acela and the ACS 64 and other things. And then there's the Caltrain trip we did. And this one now when we went out to Los Angeles. So it's lots of possibilities, lots of good, which is really good working with Amtrak, really good working with Metrolink. They're big fans of what we do, and it's good to have them in the game.
Yeah.
We'll nearly be at the end of this tunnel. How are we looking? Yeah, there. Going to there. This bit is the super interesting bit.
Yeah.
Well, for me anyway. If you like cities, then you probably like the bit before.
Depends on what you like.
This is
you
definitely
like the
not the city
gradients,
bit.
You know what's coming up.
He's been waiting there for me for ages. He's probably so annoyed. It's like, who let him drive again?
He's sitting there going, he's 4.5 minutes down. Oh, making me 4.5 minutes late now.
Disabled one. This route is the Antelope Valley Line. It comes out as part of Train Sim World 4. Train Sim World 4 is available on early access from the 21st, officially released on the 5th?
Hang on. Yeah, 26th.
26th.
26th. So it comes out on the 26th, and if you get Deluxe or Special, you get it 5 days early access. And that's speeding quite a lot.
It's fine. As you can see, we're back to double track for a little while now as well.
Yeah.
Using the dynamic brakes at the moment.
Yeah, because I've been also with the audio trip. Well, I've been away on an audio trip, so I know what they're like. And it's quite amazing the things that we do on an audio trip.
Mm. Right, coming up to Newhall.
Yeah, that's one thing with a lot of American railroads. They build roads either side of the railroad, don't they?
Yep.
Something I've seen quite a lot.
Right, see if we can get this PIS doing something else. Come on, don't let me down.
Also, I saw the hot dog stand as well.
It's not doing anything else.
Ah, someone with his suitcase.
Oh yeah, we've got a character with suitcases, look. Let's focus on the job at hand, though.
Yeah. People like the suitcases, that's good.
We did have a route sound on the suitcase, JP, but we took it off because of the legacy. If either meant you couldn't have suitcases on anything but new routes, or you'd have suitcase rattle like it was standing right next to you at all times. It was quite unpleasant actually. So we took it off so that you could have suitcases everywhere. Suitcases everywhere.
Yeah.
I have seen the PIS doing other things, honestly. I think it's probably at this point because I'm running so late.
Oh.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, it probably is. No, I was going to say, people are asking if you could do a crossing horn sequence as well.
That be with the sequencer, yeah? We'll try and get that done next time when we find a crossing.
Yeah.
We release the brakes as well, just for good measure.
Normally helps.
Biggest difference between TSW3 and TSW4, there's a number of them other than the content. Your best bet is to watch the announce stream, that'll summarize it all. But you've got some HUD changes, you've got the new free roam mode, you've got the 3 routes, which are all different.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff, to be honest, all over the place. Tried to sort of improve all sorts of things. There's new livery designer, new scenario planner updates. Because I forgot to go to the back of the train register viewer and turn the red rear lights off. Right, on. New rain effects on the windows, yes. Fog, volumetric fog, yes. Santa Clarita. This is where TV shows about zombies are made.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about, audience, don't you?
Probably because I don't watch zombie programs. Then that's probably why.
It's quite amusing, actually. It's more funny than anything else. Oh yeah, the editor, that's the thing as well, isn't it? Well done. Thank you, JP.
Yeah.
Oh, and this thing, where you press escape and you go photo mode. And then I've still not got any kind of competency at using it, apparently. I am sure this used to work better for me, but I've clearly become incompetent at some point. Oh, there you go. You can see it is doing things.
It's all right.
Lucas made changes that made it work more like a photographer would expect it to work. You see how the thing is blurring, and if I go and look at the trees, it clears them up. It's auto-focusing.
Clever, isn't it? Very clever.
H. Coughlin, we are terminating at Lancaster at the other end of the route, and we will be there when we get there, roughly. Where are we due? 11:51, so about another hour, yeah. Lights. Oh, I forgot the horn. Is it control space by any chance? Yes. Control space for the sequencer, normal space for the normal horn. I somehow thought we were closer to Santa Clarita.
We're still a mile away yet.
I know.
Put some power on.
Oh, it's because it's round a corner. It's getting further away at the moment. That's why.
It's the bird flies, or crow flies, or the
yes, it's the crow
eagle,
flies down there.
the crow flies, or whatever, the eagle. I can't remember what the American eagle.
As the crow flies.
As the crow flies. Although looking at that billboard, there's tacos on that one.
Yep. What's important?
Every day is Taco Tuesday.
I'm a supporter of that.
Well, you remember now that you got to eat tacos on the day every Tuesday you drive this route. There you go.
There we go, into some real nice terrain now.
Yep. Hello, Train Simulator driver. How you doing? Oh, blimey, is it windy down there, Train Simulator driver? Blimey. Oh, there's some funny weather about in some countries, I must admit. Good, good. Yeah, we're both fine, thank you.
What I want to know is... Oh, I thought that was a car, and I was about to say, how did you get there?
Yeah, it's hot here, Derek, as well. And we hit the hottest day in the UK today. I think it was 32.5 somewhere in the UK today.
There's a bunch of Australians now rolling up their sleeves about to tell you how it really works.
Just rolling up and say, hot? What are you talking about?
That's not hot.
Yeah.
Coming into Santa Clarita.
Please. Someone's asking if we can turn the gradient profile back on the HUD.
Yeah. Just options. I'll put it back on the big boy HUD. No, put it back on normal.
There we go.
Quality stop.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Again, a different looking station. And that's interesting because the main station buildings are on the opposite side of the road. That's interesting as well. Oh, there's a cowboy hat. There you go, there's one.
There's a cowboy hat. A hot dog stand.
Hot dog stand.
Swimming pool.
For ducks.
Paddling pool.
Paddling pool, yeah. Oh, Wolfboy said it's probably Matt's favourite station because it's pink. There you go.
There's a note of quality around this station. Clearly, people in Santa Clarita know they're a discerning group of people.
Could you, Matt? Someone's asked about LATC. Whether that again, someone's asked about that. Can you just clarify with that?
What's LATC?
That's the signalling system, isn't it? LATC.
IETMS is what's supposed to be on that. IETMS, and that's not implemented. We've looked at it, and the engineering team are not convinced that the game even has enough data to support what IETMS needs. So no plans to implement it at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what LATC is, but UP yard across the river from Union Station. Sorry, Matt. LATC is the UP yard across from Union Station, so that's probably not.
So it's not there.
No.
There you go, Jack. This big gap here is where the freight terminal is. So no, that's not modelled. Speed limit, it's 70. Right, well, let's do 70 then. Next stop is Via Princesa.
must admit, you wouldn't want a major road accident, would you, around here? Because if the car suddenly then went through the fence and went on the railway line, I mean, quite scary. Massive great truck. No.
Couple of miles to Fire Princessa. Going uphill again.
Got a crossing coming up, do the crossing thing on sequence.
Too late now.
That works. Too late now, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't start that right. Shut up, Bell. A mile to go yet.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly feels a lot quieter out here. It's certainly. It's still got a very heavy gradient as well. More grade.
Yeah, it's all over the place. We're back up to a 1.4% up gradient again now.
Yeah. Michael's Soraka, yes, there is freight. There is layers, and they are with what was it, Matt? It was
Cajon Pass enables the layer, and then if you've also got Sherman Hill, it'll swap all of the Cajon Pass trains out to be the Union Pacific ones. Because it should be Union Pacific, but we did it with the Cajon Pass because a significantly larger proportion of people own Cajon Pass. So even though it's not right, it means you get some extra services and some extra traffic on the road. Deluxe and Special Edition Disabled one is 4 extra routes in Special Edition.
Make sure you don't miss the platform.
Me? Throwing all the brakes on.
Yeah. Giving it all the brakes.
See, I was never in any doubt.
Yeah, did well there.
Yeah, it's 4 extra routes disabled one with a special edition, so it's a massive discount on 4 routes. Essentially, the difference in price there. So it's like LGV, Linkerheim-Strecke, Southeastern, and something else. Boston, I think, is the other 4 extra routes.
Getting close to the new station, aren't we now, I think?
I think so. Yeah, new station, I believe, is that one.
Brilliant. Jack, yes, we will have the a little preview of the Blockbuster scenario in a bit, I should think, Matt.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll get to Vista Canyon and then we'll show the Blockbuster.
Brilliant.
So next station. So the next station, this one we're going to now, is 2 miles away, is in the process of being built. It's, I think construction is basically finished at this point. It's just about getting it commissioned and timetables updated and so forth in reality. And we had an interesting decision because at the point that we started modelling the route, The track was actually separated. You know, it was broken. They'd cut the track because this route came up round here somewhere and joined back up, and it was all cut. So you couldn't actually use this second track at all, and they were running a simpler service because of that. And it's kind of like, well, do we model it as it is right now, which will probably be quite boring, or do we model it as it was before the work, which in which case it's instantly out of date, or do we model it as it will be? Well, let's see if we can get the reference to figure out what it will look like, and we were able to. So the team were able to modify to make it look as it now does at the end of the project.
Quite interesting, because you're sort of like, at this stage, we're looking into the future. Oh.
Yeah, about a month. Next month or something like that it's due to open.
Mozzarella Drive, it takes about 2 hours, 10 minutes to drive from one end of the line to the other.
Yep. No, it doesn't look like Home Pass anymore, does it, Red Leader? Right, let's get it into Vista Canyon.
Approaching.
So I think technically at this point we're running on new track.
Yes, we would be.
So there's a new bus station going in. I think there's a new one of the reasons for Vista Canyon going in is it's new housing, and it's like a new city or a new county for commuters. It's a whole built-up area. Yeah, and this station it's not an upgraded thing, it's a whole new station, it just wasn't there before.
It's just been a non-stop run through here originally, I imagine then?
Yep. Got the new bus station over here as well. Yeah, this is Vista Canyon, all new.
Wow.
Switch to 8 camera because I've got this.
There's the other cowboy hat. It actually feels like you're walking up a canyon as well. Look at that. That's quite clever.
So yeah, this is Vista Canyon, folks. This station opens very soon in reality, and should look pretty close to this. Right, let us pause again, and this time we'll do a bit of Blockbuster. So this is something I pre-recorded earlier, just to show focus on sort of the sort of the more interesting bits of it, so we could get it done quicker, because we've obviously got a lot going on tonight. So the first thing we're going to do is show the first bit of it, which was so in Blockbuster scenario, you are the train driver, you're a train engineer working with the film crew, and so the director sort of is telling you what to do. So you take the train out of CMF and bring it into LA, change ends, and then you do this run, and this is the test run. So this is the director seeing whether or not you're capable and competent to do the job, and if you fail it, it ends the scenario and you have to try again. We'll just wait for the train to get to the start point. It's relatively short run. It's basically making use of the LA River Canyon.
It's very clear. I've done it once, and I just did the sort of trial run, so to speak.
Have you not seen the second run yet, then?
No, I haven't seen the second run.
The second run is very different to the trial run. You will like the second run. Even though I kind of didn't do a very good job of it in this recording, I thought, you know what, I'll let you do that, and you can you can do better yourself when you're playing it. But you'll get the idea, I think, and that's what we wanted. Now, the other thing this is supposed to have in it is music playing at the appropriate moment, and unfortunately in this build the music doesn't play, so that you'll be missing that from this little demo. But what we're going to do is run a different music moment scenario, I think, when we do East Coast Mainline, so you can hear it there, because there's one with the Flying Scotsman where you're challenged to hit 100 miles an hour, and at that moment it starts playing one of Ben's new tracks, and it's actually epic. That one does work. So yeah, we're coming up. It's, there's lots of slow speed limits coming in and out of this. One of the reasons I didn't record this in its complete, because the whole thing is about 45 minutes and most of it is running at 12 miles an hour. So which is fine when you're playing the scenario, but just wanted to demo the interesting bits, just sort of effectively clip all that out. So yeah, we come up to the coming up to the start point, and then you'll get the director shouting action, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm going to shut up for a minute, and we'll keep going.
Mm-hmm. I'll shut up as well.
Disabled by any stuff with new steam engines. Yeah, Flying Scotsman. No new routes though.
Yeah, you got to have Flying Scotsman.
Right, we're coming up to the stop marker now. Briefing for the next step. Now keep an eye out on the trackside, because there's people with cine cameras, recording things all over the place, so that have been added for this. Waiting for the director.
Oh, there's one on the train as well.
There's a camera on the train now. Action time. Right, you can see the like there's a destination marker over there, which is telling you where the car is that we're supposed to be keeping pace with. And the car will go once it sees us. We're just waiting for the train, and then your goal is to try and keep roughly at pace with the car. How many times did you need to do this take, Matt? This bit, fine. It's the second time. The second bit is the one that I mess up every single time, and I will tell you. Point out where that is when we get to it. I've literally only done this scenario successfully once out of numerous attempts because of just not paying enough attention. So if you look down there, you can in the LA River, you can see there's a car on the ground on there. And the car now sets off. Someone standing on that RV there with a movie camera. This scenario is a bit more challenged if you're external like this and you don't have the normal HUD on, because of course you can't see how fast you're going. But sometimes I was going too fast, sometimes too slow. And in this instance, it didn't work out too bad, but that's why it wasn't so great in the actual run, because first I was too far ahead and then I was way too far behind. But this is why this scenario is quite an interesting challenge. Actually, it's really quite different to the normal one. This is the dry run, remember, so it is just doing the dance essentially, and proving that it works. So it's anyone can set up a car to drive down the LA with the canal. That's fine. But you don't want to do the big run until everyone's happy that they're going to get what they want out of it. There's the car down there again. We're speeding up a little bit. The car will get a second leaf of lease of life for a minute and accelerate again. Except the car takes a slightly different path up onto the side wall. Second now we'll get 50 miles per hour speed limit. Car speeds up as well.
I get caught out by the car because you're like,
There goes the
oh, and there's a helicopter.
There goes the helicopter. Of course, I'm so desperate to trying to keep up with the point because I didn't realise it was stop. Pretty much straight after the final mark, which is any second now. You've then got to come to a stop wherever you're reversing. Final
Yeah,
mark is
that.
just here. Stop, brakes on. Well, if you thought the helicopter was cool, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That's what I didn't realise that it was something else as well.
A little bit fast over the junction because I started braking too late, and then we come up and we get to the end point. And then, then it's the director gives you his summary of whether or not you did well enough. If you don't do well enough, you get fired in the end of the scenario. And if you do well enough, then you have to change ends and drive back into LA Union Station and get ready for leg 2. So we're back at Union Station now, having had a very positive review. In fact, no less than perfect summary. I'll have you know, all you doubters. And then we set going here. Now, why do I have to do this scenario so many times? Because I'm not paying attention. That bloomin' red light at the end of the platform, straight after a yellow. So here's me thinking, right, I need to get moved over to my start location here, and yeah, and I'm sitting there and I'm only focusing on that start location. I'm paying no attempt to look at the signals whatsoever. And I think 4 times I've played this scenario, and 3 times I've run this red. It's distressing. So pay attention, folks.
Make sure you remember the red. Remember the red.
So, because there's a train coming in. I'd like to have a separate word to the signaller to ask him why he's letting another train in while we're in the middle of trying to film something. But hey.
Well, the thing is, the passenger train will probably have priority over the filming train, I'd imagine.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
I tell you what, they also didn't sort all my M&Ms into the green ones as well. It's ridiculous.
Oh no! Oh.
But this time I spotted the red light. because I was just like, well, what is it I keep getting wrong? Why is it do I keep... Oh, that's why. There's a light here. And then I'm sitting in the cab going, well, why have I got a red light? What on earth is going on? And then finally I spotted the train coming in the other way. So we've got a little bit of a wait now. In fact, I'm just going to skip some of this little bit of a wait. I'm going to use the correct mouse. That'll be even better. Forward a bit. Find the train. Yeah, you see the train's coming in over here now? Skip forward a bit more.
Takes quite a while, doesn't it? There you go. Here it comes.
There you go. So he comes in, and you're sitting there raging, basically, at this point, waiting to get on with the possibly the most exciting moment in train simulation history, and this train doing 12 miles an hour is in your way. It's just a rage-filled experience. But we can now get going, and we're now going to get going for the start point again, and we're going to wait for the director then to give us the clear. I'm going to big shout out to the whole gameplay team. Actually, have really dialed it up a notch or even 2 notches for the scenarios in this. But Liam, in particular, who did this particular scenario, has outdone himself. And to be honest, every pack he outdoes himself in some way. So yeah, big shout out to Liam and then the rest of the gameplay team for really packing it in this time. Really doing a good job.
Everybody's biting their teeth. Biting their teeth? What are they doing? Biting your teeth? And biting your nails, even. Or waiting.
I mean, there are sort of semi-normal scenarios as well, but you know, if you're in this area, you can't not do a little bit of something crazy about the movies, can you? Really?
Well, so many films that have been filmed here, haven't they? You were
Exactly.
mentioning it the other day.
They landed the space shuttle in it in the core.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't this bit they landed in. They landed the bit down by the Amtrak depot, which is probably near where the LA Union is, but over to the side. So, otherwise, we were talking about maybe having a crashed space shuttle or something down there. But a bit of a
Where they
movie set.
missed.
Right, now we're waiting for the actual run. This is the proper run now, where all of the action is going to take place, and all the filming is going to take place. All the pressure on the driver here, though, sorry, the engineer, to do the job right. Yeah, I like the core as well. Really good acting. It's kind of silliness, but it's funny. It's fun and entertaining, and that's really what it is. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, action.
Someone says, does CJ show up? Or Arnie rolling down the river on the motorbike?
So the car is reset to its original position and waiting for us to go past. And, yeah, kids again, keep an eye out for the camera crews. There's a few of them. Some of them are easier to spot than others. Some of them are looking at you, and some of them are looking at the car. This time I'm running PP68. I'm running TAA, but that's it. I've not got any kind of ESR or anything like that running.
Here come the car.
So what I want to see is some YouTube videos being creative with capturing the what you can do with capturing footage, but also screenshots in photo mode, because obviously you can pause the action.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Blimey!
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Going up on the side wall.
Chat, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, there should be music playing throughout all of this as well, which just levels it up to a whole other notch. So, let's chop up. Can't be that. I'll say get to the chop. By this point, I'm now so far behind the car. The problem is that I now miss the next plane line.
Oh, I see. All right. Yes, so you're supposed to be level with that
Supposed
plane,
to be keeping up
basically.
with the car, in which case you can see the explosions going on under there. But there you go. That's Blockbuster. That's something a little bit different. Yeah, so big props to Liam for really exploring some interesting creative options, and the rest of the team as well have done that for the other scenarios too. So yeah, really good. So I leave it to you all to do it better than I did, which frankly is not difficult, but yeah, it's quite fun. Right, let's get back to our journey where we left our hero, which was at oh, I didn't open the doors. What a donkey.
Yeah, so we need the red arrows on East Coast Main Line next. That would be quite fun. I would like to see that. Either that or Spitfire. That would be fun.
Right, let's get out of here. We are off to Vincent Grade, Acton, 19 miles away.
Oh. Oh, they do look a little bit like coffins, don't they, Tintin? On the top of the canopies on the station, they do look a little bit like this. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look at that. Ah, yeah, good point, Tintin. Tintin said they're probably filming a Western. That's why. I think there's a Western scene along here, isn't there, Matt, as well? At some stage?
Oh, what, sorry?
There's a Western scene in Vincent Grade. There's a...
Oh, we'll have a look then when we get there. We're on our way there now.
Yeah. Wild West theme area, it says.
I rotated the camera there. Was that what you were looking for, BB68?
I think Park Magic. So yeah, we'll have a stream on Flying Scotsman and the East Coast Main Line. Hopefully on the 20th, I think it was the date we looked at. Should have all the dates of the streams. So yes, got that to look forward to. Not that long away.
Captain Price, we want to do something with the MP36. We haven't got something to share on that at the moment, but yeah, it's on our minds. It's on our minds. It's kind of an obvious thing to try and get going.
It's a nice area, this, because you've got like mountainous plus sort of desert green. It's like a very varied mix of greenery and desert area, isn't it?
It is very unique. I mean, the new automatic landscape texturing means that you get all this masses of detail there, which just wouldn't have been there previously. If it had all been painted in, where it's all done now, it's taking it from the LiDAR information. Some sort of gasworks pipes going on here.
Look at that. You'd almost confuse it with a suspension bridge.
Yeah. 777 Emu fan, when we were planning the streams, the UK content was running later than the schedule. Vorarlberg was the one that was looking the most complete at the time. Antelope was looking the next complete. ECML needed potentially more time. It's not turned out to need it, but yeah, it was the furthest behind dev schedule. So we organised the streams so that we would rely on that.
Yeah.
I've put your FPS counter on.
There you go, yeah. FPS is on there, yep.
Hey DJ Tift, how's it going? See where the clouds are casting shadow on the ground as well over here.
Look at that, that looks brilliant.
And over here.
Really makes it feel more real.
Yeah, especially when you actually you get a big cloud casting a shadow on the track and suddenly it sort of seems to go dark and the life gets taken out of the scene while you're in that area until you get out the other side again. It gets all sunny. It is quite nice.
Yeah. Hannah has asked, will LiDAR be retrofitted onto older routes or is it a newer route?
Newer route only. You can't put LiDAR on older routes without basically rebuilding the route. Because without LiDAR, you kind of have to make it up. You've got the DEM stuff, and DEM is so low resolution by comparison that it gives you the rough lay of the land, but then actually you then have to end up figuring out and painting and styling the terrain. You put LiDAR in it and it'll find all your trackers underground or flying, and you'd have to redo the track and you have to start again, essentially. So no, LiDAR doesn't get retrofitted. What resolution? 1080p PB.
Ralph and Graham has asked, has Dovetail thought about looking into defect detectors?
Something we want to have a look at some point. We haven't got to it yet, that's all. But yeah, something I want to do at some point. Could a user upgrade older routes? No, because you need to modify the route to be able to do that, and the editor won't let you do that, I'm afraid. There's no DLSS or FSR, no. I think if we do anything, we'll do FSR first because it benefits the entire community, including consoles. But I want to get DLSS and FSR in at some point. But no, they're not planned in at the minute. But that.
I have to put some more power on that, I think.
I was busy looking at the scenery.
Yeah. People are really liking the scenery, so that's good. Glad you're liking it, chat.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Craig and the team that worked on this route. Actually, they've gone to the point of making sure they've added some unique new foliage into the mix to make the route feel different. And obviously, they've learned a lot about the LiDAR terrain and landscaping, and really, tried to do whatever they can to make this route stand out well compared to previous ones. And it so does. This looks so different to a lot of the other routes that we've produced in the past. So, yeah, I think the team have done a really good job of capturing the feel of this route. Makes me really hyped for what future routes are going to look like. %, upwards gradient still now.
Yeah. People are asking about the Bombardier cars, so they're not in this pack, are they? The Bombardiers?
No, we're not. We'll come back to you on the Bombardier cars in the future. Not forgotten, but not in this pack. PB68, we're looking at procedural generation. One of the challenges is to the varying quality of data. It's all over the place. And trying to make sure that you find a nice hybrid between procedural generation and looking like it's been made with a machine, because this is all hand built, so it feels hand built. It feels like it's been everything has been placed, whereas a machined route starts to look repetitive. So it's finding a trade-off between them, achieving something that still looks like that hand built creation, but then is actually letting those hands work on the things which are more important, such as the near detail scenery, because there's an enormous amount of time spent detailing distant scenery. But the nice thing is, with the new landscape material, you put the LiDAR on, put that landscape on, and that's a large chunk of what you're seeing in this scene, with all those, with all the terrain texturing there. That new landscape material has been a massive improvement, not just in terms of the quality, but also in terms of saving the artist's time. Miles still to Vincent Grade. Where are we on the route? We're halfway along the wiggly bit. Vincent Grade actually at the end of it before we turn north for Lancaster. The pier. So passenger camera is tricky because just the way the game is engineered. Our railfan camera, so the one which is where the train goes past you, want to do that at some point, but I want to make it better than the one that's in Train Sim Classic, because that one can sometimes it ends up being over on the track and you just get the same view over and over again, or it spawns the camera underground or under some scenery, so you end up with these really weird views. So it's like the view in principle is a good one, but it goes wrong too many times in my opinion. So we've got a bunch of ideas for how to make that kind of a view work better. Just need to get them into the game.
There was asked about all the TSW3 DLC. Is that all going over to TSW4? I think it is, isn't it?
Everything from TSW3 works in TSW4. Yes, JP is actually right there. The other, so rather than be trying to drive the camera while sat in a passenger seat, which is just a little bit crazy, you can ride as a passenger and let the AI drive the train.
Joshua, 20th September, not quite yet.
Yes, the pier, all of your profile data will import across the TSW4, so you'll keep all your completion data and scenarios and so forth. And we fixed up achievements so that they work. So even if you've collected all the collectibles, hit the route once and it will just auto-award you all the achievements for the collectibles you've already done. If you've done a scenario, then just redo that scenario and it should then fire the achievement for you as well. That sort of thing. You should be able to earn all of your achievements.
Timothy has asked an interesting question. Can you run out of fuel?
In theory, yes. The train does have a finite amount of fuel. And it will probably then stall out and die. But trains carry an awful lot of fuel, so I don't know whether the fuel gauge is shown anywhere. Some of our other trains, there you go, look, 2,267 gallons. Is what's left in this one at the moment. Oh yeah. We don't really need to make a train with a tiny fuel tank, Antcraft, where you can, in your own custom scenario, you could spawn the train with next to no fuel in it.
Not on this one, Railfan Graham. Not on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it has a fuel gauge on the outside. I guess it probably does. Yeah, the But they plate them up these days.
Yeah, because they've got them on the computers, haven't they? So
Yeah.
it's quite hilarious when we had one on the Gronks, where there was nothing in the cab, and you had to literally stand outside to see if you had any fuel in it. This is an F125, isn't that right?
Yep, EMD F125.
Theme park magic, I'm going to say, so the difference between sort of Scotsman and the steam trains in Liverpool Lime Street, obviously the ones that we use in Liverpool Lime, Spirit Steam and Peak Forest, Peak Valley, obviously they were non-Pres locomotives, so they were steam era, so they were weathered and quite sort of the steam era, whereas Scotsman is Pres, so we'll have all the modern warning systems.
Pres meaning and preserved state, by the way.
Yes, sorry. It's rail fans terminology. So yes, yeah, preserved state, so it will have all the modern safety systems. It's got air brakes as well as vacuum brakes, and it's got the more polished condition, as the National Railway Museum take very, very great care of it. And you never see really a day where it isn't clean.
But I should get the speed up again in a minute.
Lovely. Ask for a flyby horn.
Oh, what? Sorry?
So if you can do a trackside shot and horn as you go past.
We get a brief moment of speeding up before we get slowed down again.
Yeah. Not quite around the bend, not fully through the bendy bit yet.
Depends how many coaches you got behind the Scotsman, Luna. I mean, you put load 10 on it, yeah, that'd probably be fun.
Well, the 1.25 miles on the HUD means the distance you can see in front of you. Is that correct, Matt? On the
That is how far that is. Yeah, Things that are appearing on the right-hand side of that bar are 1.25 miles away. It's just to give you a sense of scale.
Yes, Timothy, they were very accommodating. Yeah, you can certainly tell sort of the as you said Matt said they are able to give us 2 private trains, put a service on directly for us, which is quite incredible.
These are defect detectors, aren't they? Remember rightly?
Yeah, they look like it, don't they?
Portable defect detectors.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. Theme Park Magic, yes, we did. We've had, I think there'll be sort of about, I think it's 2-3 recording trips.
BNSF 4723 says they are flange lubricators.
Flange lubricators, right.
Bit of end-cab driving, absolutely, it appears.
Yeah, Coastway, we showed it earlier on.
PB68, yes, you can get rain and snow. Rain is pretty, snow is pretty rare, but we made it so that you can make it snow because you might want to recreate some of those scenes. Same, you can make it foggy as well.
Yeah. Hello, you're getting a 50 mile an hour in a minute.
I know. Not just a switch flipping game, not while you're mid-run, but before you go into a run you can choose all the weather settings, or you can leave it dynamic and say how you want to start it, and then it will take the weather from that point onwards for you automatically. But not while you're mid-game. You have to come out and start a new one. I've got this one specifically set to a fixed light cloud so that we can see what we're doing. Since we're here to showcase the route.
Someone's asked, are there plans on bringing TSW to GeForce?
To GeForce now? Nothing at the moment, no.
Hello, there's a lot of RVs there. And also, Train Simulator Realistic also, will AI ever be able to blow the horn at crossings?
Hopefully at some point, but certainly no plans to do that at the minute. Because it's quite tricky, having it do Rule 14L in America. Or all the different, if you're going to make it blow the horn, it should blow the horn all the places that it's supposed to, all according to Rule 14. So, and that's very different to the rules in other countries. Every country's got different rules. So it needs some thinking about. It's not just a question of blowing a horn on a level crossing.
And also, because the other thing that you could get is that some railroad crossings are right next to each other, so you'll have like 1 or 2 or 3 within a short space of time. So it's working out how that would work as well, isn't it?
Say that again, sorry, Jamie.
The way you'd have like some American railroad crossings are all close to each other, so you'll have them like one after the other.
Yeah.
That would be another thing.
.7 miles. How are we doing according to the map? Yeah, getting there. Is there no way to tweak the parameters of the dynamic weather? No, but well, we can obviously in the weather patterns, and there's no reason why people can't make their own weather patterns once the editor is out. So yeah, do anything you like with it. But one of the key things is there are 4 weather patterns in the game based on the seasons. So if you don't like the kind of weather you're getting, choose a different date. And you'll get a different weather pattern. Summer is different to autumn, different to spring, different to winter. .60 limit in a minute.
Really get some speed on now.
What happens when there's a rail strike? You uninstall the game and wait for the rail strike to finish.
That's a good one, I like that one. Oh, Soul Cat and Metrolink. So he's going to get the game because the route goes through his hometown. That's fantastic.
Oh, very good. It's a long old run, isn't it?
It is.
Going a long way, though.
Yeah. Well, 75 miles, it does take a while, doesn't it? I mean, 75 miles in the UK in some routes, you know, it takes you 2 hours. In other cases, it takes you half an hour. So, you know, depends on your train speed and how many stops you've got to do.
And whether you're streaming at the time.
That's very true as well. Very true. Top speed of the route, Roy, is 79 miles an hour. But I reckon if you put the loco on another route that's got a higher route speed, you could probably get quite a bit more out of it. I don't know if it says on the indicator what speed it does.
No, it doesn't have a max speed readout on it.
Well, that's something you'll have to try out and let us know. Lord Tacitus has asked us, what's your favourite part of the route? They're asking me and you.
I think I concur with Rob, who's watching the stream. Actually, the bit from I think it was Santa Clarita to Lancaster, when we're up in the mountains like this. I think it's I love it. I think it's really nice.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree as well. Yeah, it's a lovely area. Ah, now that's interesting. So Derek has just said, well, it's 125 miles an hour because it's got it in its name. Oh, I didn't know that.
Two miles to go for Vincent Grade. And is it Lancaster? Oh no, Palmdale and then Lancaster.
Good. A bit of double track. Oh, look out for the Wild West bit, haven't we? So Vincent Grade somewhere.
The pier, yes, at the beginning I showed, I went through all the timetables. There's not a lot of freight, and it doesn't run the entire length of the route, but you can see which freight there was at the beginning. How does screen percentage work? Well, if you set it to 200%, it renders the screen 200% of the size, so double in all directions, so 4K if you're running it. If your resolution is 1080p and you set it to 200%, essentially it will render a 4K image and then squash it down to 1080p and use all that extra data as anti-aliasing information so that it does a much cleaner version. It's kind of a brute force, but it's sorry, nearly missed the station. It is kind of a brute force.
You're getting close.
But if you've got the GPU horsepower, then it's probably the one that gives the mode that gives you the absolute best output.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, really. I will switch to the mini HUD. Yes.
Let's see if we can find this Wild West thing. Don't forget to load your passengers. Oh, yeah, I already have. There's a Wild West station. Look at that. Yes, Sheriff. Brilliant. Gavin the Rail Nerd has asked, what's your favourite railway? To both of us.
Favourite railway? I don't really have a favourite railway. I kind of like all railways.
It's a difficult decision.
Yeah, it is. They've all got their strong points.
Of course they do, yeah. Let's just say I have more than one favourite, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I did, Rob. Shush. It's only the 15th time I've rolled back into the station, so...
He just wanted to have a second go, that's all, didn't you, on that? There's a truck stop there, look at all those trucks.
Right, so we're on the flat to the downhills now as we race to Palmdale and then to Lancaster.
Not far
For
to
the
go now,
conclusion of this epic journey.
Yeah. Certainly is an epic journey, I'll give it that. We're coming down that hill quite fast. It's alright.
I've only got 6 seconds to get there.
Yeah. It's like we just come down the hill and make it like just on time. Oh, there we are, right, we're there. We made all the time back. Oh.
Passengers stumble off with white faces. Where having the accelerometer is quite handy because it makes small changes to the throttle and observe the impact on the speed.
That's cool. Question of easing those brakes in and watching the accelerations steady out. So you've just about killed all the acceleration there. Plugins adding the currents. The idea of the mini HUD is to not have anything that's in the cab, which is why current speed is not in there. But something we can take feedback on. You see, one of the things that I've found actually, plugins with the steam engines is, so I drive by watching the speedometer change colour, and so you get used. You start getting very quickly. You start getting used to roughly when, say, 25 miles an hour is, and backing off before then. And as soon as it goes yellow, you cut the power and so forth. So it's actually. So I've been basically driving in the yellow. Just once it goes yellow, cut off power. And just drive like that is how I've been kind of obeying the speeds when on the steam. And doing that, it's amazing how much you start paying more attention to what it sounds like, what it looks like with the telegraph poles going by, how fast the train feels like it's moving, and you start recognizing it again. Having a speedometer, you naturally just do not pay attention to that in the same way. Yeah, with Scotsman will have a speedometer, so it'll be slightly different. won't it, as
Scotsman's
well,
got every
compared-
gauge under the sun.
Yeah. You just look at it and go, which one is which?
Yeah, I tried to put everything that was needed to drive genuinely HUD-free, Kojo. Like knowing when you could close the doors, where you're going, what you're doing, and that sort of thing is kind of, it's important, and the driver would have knowledge of that stuff. Whereas what the train is doing is in the train. You don't need it on the HUD if you want that kind of mode. You can turn the speed limit off, by the way, for those of you that think that that's making it too easy for them. You can turn the speed limit off in the options.
It's nice because you've got a lot of options with it, really, haven't you? You know, what fun you can do with it. So it's not just down to one sort of like, option of how you can run, how you want to run it.
If you like to drive with the camera outside the cab, then you're not driving with the gauges. So at that point, the mini HUD is not really servicing what you need, because you've got no information about what's going on if you're not in the cab. At that point, you kind of maybe use the simple HUD so that you've got some basic information and without cluttering up too much of the screen. PB68, so we've not done, I mean, the early days of Train Sim World development, we did do prototyping with VR, but VR is a different game. It works differently because you want to be in there manipulating controls with your hands, and UI works differently in VR, all sorts of things. So it's really fun in VR, but, because it's ideal for VR experience, but it's not something you can just flick a switch on. Right, coming to Palmdale.
Lovely.
Back into civilization.
Yep. Morgan, we're nearly at the end, so we're one stop away from Lancaster. No? The route is 75 miles long. So with the, I'll give you some information with the route. So obviously it comes with Metrolink, which is a new operator for TSW. So it's a modern route. So as close as it can be, it's actually sort of future as a month into future. A new station being added in, Vista Canyon, which is 13 stations. Runs from LA Union Station to Lancaster, and you've got a good mix of single and double track sections, as you see earlier. You get the EMD F125 diesel locomotive in Metrolink livery. So it's a very modern locomotive and built between 2015 and 2021. And you get the Rotem, sorry, commuter trailers and cab car also in Metrolink livery. So you get quite a good bit.
Yeah, the vertical bar with the yellow bit that's draining out of it is the distance to the next objective. It starts at 1 kilometre and obviously 0 at the bottom. So it's rather than counting down the timers, at this point it's just giving you a rough idea of, you know, your stop is coming up. It's more of a reminder. So it's there to help you learn the route essentially, because you know you'll find it's actually going up at the moment because it's a load of passengers, they go up. But yeah, by not putting all of the distance counters, and I've had a couple of people, the way I've described it is that Train Sim World tended to be chasing numbers to 0 and not paying attention to what was going on in the outside world. And so you could chase numbers to 0, do an action, chase numbers to 0, do an action, whether that was the next signal, the next speed limit, the next objective. Whereas by taking all the distances off, so there's no distances on at the moment, you kind of have to pay a bit more attention to what's going on. And you naturally will do that, and you'll find that 2 or 3 runs of a route, you'll start to become more naturally familiar with it. And the yellow bar is just there to just give you a reminder. So if you're not, if you haven't learned a route, you can still benefit from not having all of those counters on. You can still turn all those counters on though. Lancaster in 7.4 miles, final station.
Bars ago now.
It's one of those things that until you try it, you might not appreciate what a difference it makes. Now, if you don't like it, you can always go back. But I would strongly advise you to try it, because at least one person has come up to me and said that it has completely transformed how they play the game, and they're now feeling so much more immersed in the experience and finding the whole thing much more fun and rewarding. Whereas previously it was feeling very robotic before. Whereas now they're feeling like they're immersed in that experience. What we'll do actually is we'll just do Los Angeles at night, Kojo, just to show you what that looks like. I mean, the rest of the route kind of gets very dark at night, to be honest. But we'll have a quick look at Los Angeles. Obviously the stations are lit up, but it won't make for a fun stream, put it that way. PC specs should be out. Yeah, okay, Canadian Dog, they're on the Steam page, I think. Because you can pre-order it now, so the specs have to be out. In this UI mode, will PZB and similar stuff show up or not? No. Because if you were in a German train and you've turned PZB on, you've got lights in the cab that will show you PZB. You can turn the PZB helper on, and that'll show up. But the actual stuff that was in the bottom right corner on that stuff, that's all gone in this mode. It's there if you put it back into normal though. straight bit now until we get to Lancaster. Dynamic brakes on, just gently bringing the speed down. Bring that speed down now, given we're coming to our terminus in 1.5 miles.
Lovely. You could show the map, Matt.
Yeah, one more look at the map. So this is Lancaster, Vincent Grade here. This is the wibbly bit through the canyons, and then down in through LA suburbs into Los Angeles Union Station here. This is where the freight yard is, but not in the route, and the freight train's going up and down here.
Thank you.
The pier, yeah, there's a cab car on the back here. So the train will drive the cab car on the other way back. Slowed down a bit too much. Still got 700 yards to go. And this is buffer stops, folks, so yeah, don't overshoot this one. All the brakes. All the brakes. That's fine. Perfect stop. Now, before we finish this train, I am going to show you because we haven't done anything in the cab car. No, I'm not going to drive with the cab car, but I think let's just have a quick look inside the cab car. Sit down in the seat, show you what to expect for a driver's view. Engineer's view. Engineer's view, not a driver's view. But it's still pretty cramped in here.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
This is your view. When you're in here, by the way, cab setup switch is crucially important. Do this first or last. It's the first thing you do when you're taking over, and the last thing you do when you're releasing from this. So you'd switch the cab setup on, and then set all your other switches. And then when you're finished and you're going away to the other cab, you switch everything else off, and then do cab setup last. That's what makes this whole desk active, essentially. You got your speedometer down here. You got your ammeter here. Brake gauges over here, and this is just remotely controlling the diesel at the other side.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm still here. Mr. Quirgo Gaming asked if I was still here. I'm still here, don't panic.
Yeah, and it's quite drivable, actually. It is quite drivable. Got an indicator here for whether the doors are open or closed. But yeah, this is it's quite drivable.
There we go.
And
so that's it, really. That is it.
Well, we were going to have a quick look at Los Angeles at night, so let's do that.
I've been told not to, so it's not ready yet.
Oh, okay. Yep. Fair enough. Super.
So I think we're there. I think. So
in that case, that's it for tonight, then, folks. So that was Los Angeles Union to Lancaster, and we showed the Blockbuster clips. And we've shown you some of the stuff we did on the recording trip. So hopefully that's shown you everything you wanted to know about the Antelope Valley route. Yeah, if there's any questions, pop them in the forums, and we'll do our best to answer. Otherwise than that, when's the next stream, Jamie?
Let me have a look. So I think the next one is next week, I should think. Now it will be probably next Tuesday, I imagine. Let's just have a look. Give me a second. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to look at all the different. Oh, here we are. Mega schedule. This is the one I'm looking for. There we go. So the next one will be Tuesday, the 12th of September, and it'll be Creative Tools. So next Tuesday, and that'll be going through livery design, scenario planner, photo mode, and that's with Matt, Kat, and Alex. And then you've got the next one, which is on Thursday, the 14th. Which is Dresden with Vectron, and that's with Matt and Jan. So yes.
There you go, folks. Great time. I'll see you on Tuesday next week or Thursday next week, depending on when you can come. And otherwise than that, take care. We'll see you later and catch you next stream. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.